Being able to express through music, through dance, through your body, through your facial expression, that's a skill. And we do that through song and dance. That is not objectifying. I feel like the minute you do a song where you're just standing there and men are just like all over you, when you're just like having your chest out, your body out, and you're doing nothing but that, and you're trying to seduce the camera in a vulgar way, that's where objection, I think, happens.
No matter how hard I try, no matter how woke I can become with respect to the art of song and dance being a celebration of female, no matter how much I try to intellectualize and defend it as an expression of skill, I think we have reached the lowest of lows when it comes to the new title track featuring Nora Fatehi from a Kannada movie. Since the controversy has absolutely taken over the internet and everyone is absolutely blown away by the fact that such lyrics can even be approved, the makers have deleted the video from the official music channel associated with the film, at least their YouTube channel. What only remains are glimpses of the music video. The controversy justifiably went so out of hand that even the credited lyricist Rakib Alam was interviewed by Variety India on how he thought about the lyrics, defending himself by stating the song has been written in Kannada by the director and he told me to do a translation. It is not my creation. He further said that he even felt a sense of discomfort with the lyrics and told the director about the same. However, he convinced him just to do a translation. He further went on to explain himself by saying, I have written 5 more songs for the movie. I refused to write this, but he told me to just fit in Hindi words, which he would put in the meter of the song. Now I found out that I have been credited as a lyricist for the Hindi version. I am planning to reach out to them. He immediately put the director under the bus. The defense is so vague, so weak, and on such faulty ground that I believe it's a mere consequence of the controversy and so many people talking about it that just one feels compelled almost to act all innocent and oblivious. Had no one spoken about it, they would have not really had to present their stance in any way. Their argument comes out of desperation versus any moral duty. For those living under a rock and don't know what happened in the last 2 days, Nora Fatehi featured in a song titled Sarke Chunar Teri Sarke, a movie that is planned as a pan-Indian spectacle after the exceptional quality and business of a previous project that helps in eliminating flies and mosquitoes from your rooms. The song presented Nora doing lewd choreography of constantly dropping her pallu as men ogled at her. Nora, who credits herself with performing complex choreography to counter criticism of item songs just laying focus on women's bodies, is not found doing anything impressive or difficult in the name of dance in this video. The choreography presents her mostly bulging her chest out or pelvic thrusting as the men around simply stare at her. Sanjay Dutt, who I have a conspiracy theory, may just have a lot of debt to repay, for he has almost become adamant to feature in every pan-Indian film possible, doing the stupidest roles under the sky, playing silly antagonists, featuring here again just lazily pelvic thrusting the air. I've actually come to the conclusion that the lyrics are misinterpreted by simply mere mortals like us, and actually the problem is that we do not understand the metaphor the makers actually tried to create. We are the problem. We assume this innuendos, but the reality is that the makers of this song were simply talking about a bottle of alcohol. The lyrics that go pehle utha le, अंदर वो डाले, नीचे एक बूंद ना गिराए, खाली करके निकाले, मुझ पे ना गिराना, मुझे लगता है डर, भेद खुल जाए ना, संभल के जाना घर, चूसेगा या चाटेगा, जो करेगा कर, तेरी बोतल पे ना पड़े किसी की भी नजर. अब मुझे बताओ, तुम पागल हो क्या? तुम्हें समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है? This is about an alcohol bottle. Let's decode this like we were on a Genius episode. पहले उठा ले, अंदर वो डाले. किसके अंदर? मुंह के अंदर. How do you have a drink? You put the bottle at the brim of your mouth, right? नीचे एक बूंद ना गिराए. You don't want to waste a drop of alcohol, right? I mean, it's expensive, especially if you were to compare Bangalore rates to Mumbai. You have to protect every drop you have. मुझ पे ना गिराना, मुझे लगता है डर. Of course, Nora is wearing an expensive outfit. You don't want to mess it up. You know how particular women are with their favorite dresses, getting spoiled. When you're popping champagne, think about it like that scenario. कवि इस पंक्ति के माध्यम से यही तो कहना चाह रहा है. I think the point where the lyricist got caught though in the inconsistency of his metaphors is the second last line. आप सही जा रहे थे वैसे. I was with you when it came to the alcohol bottle analogy, but then you said चूसेगा या चाटेगा जो करेगा कर. This is where I am slightly confused on what is the apparatus through which the drink is being had. Why does it require the action of sucking and licking? I can still concede if we were talking about like say a Gatorade bottle to get electrolytes in a post-drinking session. But chatega too? Are you alluding to having shots and licking the salt to counter the burning sensation in your throat?
हाँ जी.
आपका ये चूसेगा या चाटेगा यहाँ बैठता नहीं है, मैं जितना भी कोशिश करूं. I mean, come on, what are we even doing here? Everyone knew what was being said, what was being performed, for whom it was intended, and there's a reason why the makers observed the backlash and deleted the video. I can get behind an artist like Nora because she constantly speaks about this pursuit to be more than just an item girl, a tag that she considers to be illogical and just an oxymoron.
Doesn't even like phonetically make sense.
Yeah.
Like item is a thing. You know, like this is an item, you know, this is an item. And then girl, it doesn't even make sense. So
True.
for me, I don't understand it.
What however is very clear is that this song does not even feature Nora doing something special from a choreography standpoint. It is merely to highlight her physical body and created for the purpose that men salivate over her. What's even more concerning about the music video is that the makers don't even pretend to create a metaphor through its visuals. See a song like Khada Hai. You remember the horrifying song from Andaz where Anil Kapoor sings Dar pe tera aashik khada hai? Anil Kapoor visually is presented standing outside the room, doing the bare minimum of at least acting out the lyrics. When you see Saif Ali Khan singing the rap song and the lyrics go, मैं लाया हूँ चूहा अपना, कहाँ है तेरी चूई, at least Saif is saying the lyrics while holding a literal rat. At least the makers are visually doing the bare minimum of the metaphor they are intending. In this Nora Fatehi song, however, there is not a single bottle of alcohol in the frame. It is just Nora's bosom that gets highlighted as Sanjay Dutt and even her pelvic thrusts the air. I can't even believe just a few days ago I was speaking about the problem in the music industry where it seems pretty clear that there are a lot of issues singers have while visually depicting their lyrics. Lewd and crass is one aspect of them, but showcasing minors in provocative ways was where I believe people have really gone too far. And here you have another case where the normalization of treating women as mere objects in the big 2026 has absolutely reached its lowest of lows. I as a dancer would want to defend Nora for she is a brilliant dancer. She genuinely has the capability to pull off some really complex choreography and is actually very versatile with dance forms that she can pull off. And her doing such a song also makes me assume that she's somewhat lost relevance in the mainstream song scene, where most of the commercial numbers are performed by Tamanna today. I think it's also the case of being desperate and finding a way to be in the public eye, so you end up saying yes to anything that is offered irrespective of the material. What blows my mind is how desperate does one really have to be? This does not seem like a contractual obligation, which I assume was the case with Nora doing songs with T-Series. What compels someone like her, who seems to be self-aware, to see the lyrics and assume that it's good to go, and the naivety to assume that people will not be criticizing it? It blows my mind that people cannot foreshadow it. It also is hilarious to me that most people don't even do basic research and for this Nora song are dragging Bollywood, not realizing that it's a Kannada movie. What's hilarious is that even when Bollywood producers are not involved in the project, they still catch strays on social media. What my conclusion also is that producers are not going to change. They're going to justify these numbers by giving silly roles to the girls performing the item songs in order to justify even placing the song in the screenplay. But let's be honest, the songs are being used as marketing tools to hit the demographic of the majority theatre-going audience. Men, so that they can dance in unison in theatres as a woman gets leched at a bar when the makers make sure her assets are in full display on the big screen. I know this is a completely different topic and I've shed light on it briefly a few videos ago, but the death of innocence in this day and age is truly how children in school functions are performing on Aaj Ki Raat versus a few decades ago where we were grooving to Bum Bum Bhole. Where did we lose track of ourselves is a heartbreaking conundrum to think about. I mean, it's such a dichotomy on how Nora was speaking recently about how feminism has ruined society, alluding to extreme feminism, and how it's isolated us even further, antagonizing this together, and for a career that's mostly catered to men ogling at you, it generally seems disingenuous to have a moral high ground when essentially you're only catering to the male gaze. Someone rightly pointed out in the comments of one of my reels that I'm glad that Nora distanced herself from feminism because we don't want any part of this. I mean, just recently Shreya Ghoshal in a podcast spoke about denying singing a song for a Salman Khan movie for she was extremely uncomfortable on how it objectified women.
तो उसमें एक गाना था which was too much objectification.
Okay.
चिकन बना के खा ले, ये करके वो लिपट ले और So I know I cannot say these words.
Making people deduce that she may be talking about Fevicol Se. I mean, the lyrics literally compare her to a tandoori murgi, so I think the deduction may be spot on. But I think it's important for artists to have some form of introspection while such songs are being pitched to them and have the courage to say no, especially when you have power. I mean, Nora is not some struggling artist. She's done enough commercial work to say no. I mean, otherwise we'll be stuck in the era of sarkai liyo khatiya aur din mein leti hai, sham mein leti hai. Have we actually not evolved at all from such lewd writing and depiction? This was more than 3 decades ago. Have we really not changed at all? And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you think about commercial song lyrics these days. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.